Hi everybody, Chris Reimer here. Welcome to episode 23 of Happywork TV. And today, first, I have to show you something that you're probably already used to seeing, as I've had this ostentatious poster behind me. I have held up the advanced reader copy of my book previously, but just last week I received a box full of actual books. No advanced reader copy thing here, and the paper dolls here and the word Happywork are embossed, and this is just one of those super freaky egotistical trips that authors probably go on, and I'm a first-time author, so when I received these I was just pretty damn excited. So anyway, I've got real books. The book comes out in a little over 60 days, and this is just a really fantastic thing. So I'm very excited to start sending some of these books. I've got a whole bunch of them lined up on a shelf right over here to start sending these out to people who are going to be on my launch team and to people who blurb the book. So I'm very, very excited to have received the real book. I don't know, it's just cool. Anyway, today we are going to talk about the next commitment in the list of commitments that I call the Happywork Agreement. It is a list of commitments that I guess it's a work code of conduct of sorts. I'm really considering it 46 great ideas that both employers and employees can take into their businesses to basically improve morale, make things happier, and make people more productive. So here's the next one. This is part of respect for the work process. And get out of here, cat. Come on. Scoot. Kitty's trying to ruin things for me. Anyway, this is the one that's in the respect for the work process. And this is a commitment that employers and employees will jointly make to each other. I'm a bit of a fan of this one, so let me read it. We won't publicly present a problem without offering at least one viable solution. Chief Problem Identification Officer is not a staff role at this organization. You know what's really cool about a company that has Chief Problem Identification Officer as a staff role? All of you qualify for it. All of you could do that job, and your kids could probably do it too. If companies had this, the recession would be over because there'd be jobs for everybody. Anybody can identify a problem. I mentioned kids. My kids, if you have kids, yours are just as good at it as mine. My kids are awesome at identifying problems. And I've noticed this anytime they're hungry or cold. They'll say, I'm hungry. And they won't ask for what they need. They won't articulate their need in the form of a solution. Dad, would it be okay if you made us some pasta or whatever? They just say, I'm hungry, and maybe stomp their feet a few times. And I took to saying back to them, thanks for letting me know. And they were like, probably thought I was a dick for doing it that way, but I'm trying to teach them that the mere identification of problems in their lives or in society or at the companies we work at is not good enough. We need to find ways to improve on things. And so I have worked at companies, and I know you have too, where basically, if you've worked at a company where everyone complains, that's where everyone is wearing the Chief Problem Identification Officer hat. And I've worked at companies, and I don't want to name who, but where basically we would sit around in weekly meetings and everyone would just bitch and moan about stuff. I can tell you that the company or two that I worked at that were like that, they were not successful, and things did not work out for them. And I wasn't able to stay there just because that's just not how I'm wired. I like to identify problems. I like to plan ahead, and I like to find solutions, and I like to remain positive. If there's a way to remain positive, then I'm going to remain positive. And when all you're doing is pointing out the problems that other people are causing, and you're not bringing anything to the table in the form of a solution, you are kind of a loser in my book, just to be totally honest. And this all started for me back in, probably the year 2000. I got a job at a distributor here in town, and I wasn't there for terribly long because the company got bought and my position was eliminated. But while I was there, I learned a lot. And there was a gentleman who worked in the credit department there. And this was a huge organization. and they basically had almost no bad debt. This guy ran the credit department, this like a fine Swiss watch. It was just wonderful. And he had a sign above the doorway when you would leave the credit department. It said, "Don't bring me a problem without at least one solution." And I'd never considered why that was important, but what a challenge. Because if you see something going wrong in the company, now it's up to you to at least come forward and offer some ideas on what can be done about it, instead of just bitching and moaning about it. You have been watching episode 23 of Happywork TV. I really appreciate your patronage of this show, and I will see you in episode 24. Thanks, guys. Bye.